Taking about 2 more breaths wherever you are before coming into a quick set tabletop. When you get there, just shake out your head a little bit, nod your head up and down, and then getting into a down dog. Okay, you're here for just about 5 breaths. We're going to lengthen our hold to our warrior 2. This is going to be a shorter add-on. So we're going to really work on alignment, and we're going to work on just holding that posture as long as we can. 2 more breaths in, downward dog. And if your blocks are somewhere near the back end of your mat, then just take your blocks somewhere to the middle or top of the mat. And from down dog, walk the big toes together to touch. Let's take the right leg up toward the ceiling, stacking the right hip on top of the left, and then bending at the knee. Square off your shoulders and take about 2 breaths here, working on squeezing that right glute, grounding your left heel, stepping that right foot right in between the palms, and dropping the back heel down. So because we're going to be holding these postures a little longer, and we're just going to be working through Warrior 2 on this add-on, don't rush it, okay? So look down. Check if your foot, the heel, is aligned to either the back heel or the inner arc of the foot. So try to get front heel to back arc alignment. And then allow the right toes to face toward the top of the mat. Your left toes can be on a gentle angle, but they're most likely facing a little bit more toward the left side of the room. From there, taking the palms toward your thighs, and then slowly bring yourself into an upright position. Shoulders aligned over top of the hips. Ground down into that right knee, and then look down toward the big toe. If you can't see the big toe, gently pull that right knee to favor the right pinky toe, and then find a little bit more depth. And when you do that, if the heel goes past the heel, if the toe goes past the heel, you're going to wiggle the toes out, deepen your stance, and then find your grounding, find your center point, and then you can go ahead and bring the arms up. Okay? While you're holding stillness here, we want to feel a slight external rotation in both quadriceps. And really feel the muscle surrounding and hugging the bone. And then find a little bit more depth again as the shoulders stay over top of those hips, and there's a slight engagement in through Mula Bandh. So Mula Bandh is that pelvic floor squeeze, so that Kegel lock for both men and women. Looking toward the left, notice if that left arm got a little lazy. Try to bring it up so it's the same height as the shoulder, and then look past the right fingertips again. It's common to be hinging the upper body forward or leaning too far back, so just try to hold your center point. And then again, find more depth, and you're here for about 1 more minute. Soften your toes. Slight squeeze, a little tighter to your left glute. And you're breathing in and out of the nose here. Good, you're halfway through, keeping your focal point, keeping your drishti gaze. Notice if you're coming out of that right knee, go a little deeper into lunge. Try to keep the weight onto the outsteps of both feet. Final 10. Good, reverse your warrior, 2 breaths. Coming here more for the stretch than anything else. And then go ahead, cartwheel the palms down. Feel free to take a vinyasa or down dog direct. Eyes are past your inner thighs. Get that length again. 2 more breaths before we work on moving to the left side of the body. We're going to start to walk the big toes together to touch, and then reach the left leg nice and high. Squeezing the glute, you're here for a little bit, so bend the knee. And with time, that heel will touch the mat, the belly will pull in and up, hollowing itself to reach the rib cage closer toward your thigh bone. Taking one more breath, and go ahead, step that left foot in between the palms. Hold here, dropping the back heel down, and then check your alignment again. Front heel to back heel, or better, arc alignment. Toes are facing in the right direction that they need to. And then slowly take the palms toward your left thigh, bringing yourself into an upright position, and then facing your body toward the side of the mat. So find a little bit more depth, and when you do that, make sure the shin is parallel to the top of the mat. So if you need to wiggle your toes out, you can go ahead and wiggle your toes out. And then looking down toward the inner knee, you still want to see the big toe. Okay, so allow that kneecap to favor toward the pinky toe. When you find your position, roll the shoulder scapula down and back, and then bring the arms up. Once again, roll the weight onto the out steps of your feet, so there's a natural lift to the arc. Are your shoulders over top of the hips? Is that back arm getting a little lazy? We tend to look forward past the left fingertips, but we forget to bring that right arm up. We want to make sure that it's aligned to your shoulder. Okay? Get a tighter squeeze into the right glute. Soften your toes. And then again, find more depth. Squeezing through Mula Bandha. Lifting up through the chest. Holding that center point of gravity. And you're here for 1 minute. Once again, in and out of the nose. And just because we're holding for a longer period of time doesn't mean you're letting your mind wander. You're still focusing on scanning constantly. From the crown of the head to the tips of the toes, what can you work on? What can you find depth in? What can you check the engagement or the form? Okay, more than halfway through, just a few more breaths. Beautiful. Reverse your warrior. 2 breaths. And cartwheel the palms down, either high plank to low vinyasa or down dog direct. Now feel free to start to get ready for your next add-on. If you need some water, or you can take a moment, rest in child's pose.